Hello, welcome back to my channel, Georgia Girl Aroma Wellness, and I'm your host, Georgia Girl. Today is Wellness Wednesday, and I want to share some things about mental health awareness. Hey, pre-retirement, how are you doing? Good to see you, and thank you for coming in on my video. So, are you doing the cardios? Are you doing some of the cardios? I have to do them in moderation. I be taking my time doing them, but I've been trying to stick with it. How you been doing? Today is Wellness Wednesday. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and it's also Women Wellness Month. So I'll be sharing some stuff today, and I'll be sharing some things tomorrow. And I had a little setback. I wasn't able to do that much this month with my awareness because I was having some issues with my knee, so I didn't really do no live streams. But I'm back this week, just putting out some commentary, and I have to put a disclaimer out before I even get started on anything. I hope everybody's having a great day. Like it started off a cool morning, but it ended up being another hot day. I just got to put some things in that I want to read off about mental health awareness. A lot of people don't know the difference between mental health and mental illness. In my channel, I just share awareness. I'm not here to diagnose or suggest any type of treatment for anyone because I do have my own issues. I don't know if y'all heard me or not. Can y'all hear me now? Hey, today is Mental Health Awareness. How's everybody doing? Wellness Wednesday. You doing okay? Are you doing okay? Welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, I was trying to mute it because it was making a noise. Hey, Frank, how you doing? Happy Wednesday. Today is Wellness Wednesday. Yeah, I was on my other device and it had started interfering with it. How you doing, Ginseng, Frank, pre-retirement? How y'all day going? Are y'all having a great day? Welcome in, welcome in. Today is Wellness Wednesday, and I was going to be sharing some things about mental health awareness. And this is commentary. This is not here to, I'm not here to diagnose or suggest any type of treatment for anyone. I'm gonna put my disclaimer up here. I like to let people know before I start talking or sharing about it. This is my disclaimer right here. Y'all can read along with me. I will be talking about the difference between mental health and mental illness. A lot of people don't know the difference between it. A lot of people just assume because you having issues, they assume you having some type of mental illness. And sometimes you just be just a mental health. So I'm going to let y'all know what is the difference between mental health and mental illness. We all have mental health. When it comes down to mental health, it's concern our mind, our body, our soul. But mental illness is different from our mental health. So I'll be sharing that today and tomorrow. Like I said, May is National Women's Wellness Month. So I'll be sharing some more things tomorrow. I'm making up for last week when I didn't do that much last week. So this week I think I've been doing pretty good. I feel pretty good. My knees, they up and down. Still doing my cardios, and I'm feeling pretty great right long and now. But thank everybody for coming in. Can y'all still hear me? I'm here, but I'm behind this picture here. I'm trying to see, can I get on here some kind of way? But a lot of people are quick to assume people have a mental illness, but you have to understand what a mental illness is. Are you chilling this week? Okay, that's all right. You've been watching the games. I see a lot of those playoff games have started. A lot of things will be happening in the news. Soon as someone shoots someone or anything, they assume that it's mental health, it's mental illness. But you got to know the difference. You got to know what is mental health and what is mental illness. I'm gonna read my disclaimer up here. All right. And it's okay to take a break. Everybody deserves to take a break, whether you're taking a break from social media or just taking some time out for yourself, taking time to rest. And that's what I did last week. I was resting. I don't know. That could be hard to say. I think, to me, I think maybe he probably could go another year. He's what, 41 now? I'm thinking that he might go one more year though, Frank. What you think? You think he's gonna I don't think he got no more than another year in. I mean, he did good this year. My team, Lakers did lose, the Golden State lost. A lot of the teams that I grew up watching, like the Lakers and things like that. And then, as I got into the watching the sports, like I said, I watch basketball. I don't know nothing about football, but I'm learning. I think he might have a good with his age, I wouldn't go no more than another year. I mean, but because he got money, and if he's doing anything, he's just doing it just as being as a hobby or something. But I don't know. We're gonna see. But getting into my commentary today, we're talking about mental health awareness. This is my disclaimer. I am a lifestyle vlogger who shares awareness to uplift and not tear down. My channel does not diagnose or suggest any treatment. Seek professional help if needed. If you're going through anything, there are numbers that you can reach out to. That's what I do here. I share things like that. But what you have to do if you need help. I don't mind if someone, like, people have came in my chat saying they going through this or going through that, but I can only share what I know, but always consult your physician when you're doing something different in your life or is something going on. So I'm going to get into my commentary. The difference between mental health and mental illness. Do y'all know it's a difference? Did y'all know that mental health and mental illness is different? How many people in the chat or in the bushes know that they are two different things? You have to understand what they are. You know, people are quick to say, "Oh, he shot up that school because he got mental illness." What kind of mental illness? What do you define as mental illness? Because if you go buy a gun, if you buy a gun and you go walk up in the school, they'll assume you crazy. They'll assume you crazy. But you know what you're doing when you walk up in that school. It ain't like you didn't know how to. It ain't like you could have turned around. You didn't have to. A person don't have to do what they do. Yes, people do click, they do snap, but it's a reason why people do the things they do. It's a reason why people do the things they do. I don't know the gun laws. I don't know if they have changed. I really ain't been following the politics area part of. I haven't been following the politics, but I know that a lot of things do need to change when it comes down to gun violence and violence toward people, especially when people are doing things to hurt others. And don't be so quick to say, "Oh, they got a mental illness problem." Because if you go purchase a gun and you already in your mind knowing what you're gonna do with that gun, sometimes things be premeditated. So I don't think everybody that go shoot up a school or anybody that shoot their wives or husbands or do something to their children, all of them don't have mental illness. They're just evil. To me, that is evil and selfish and feel like they're trying to show the world like, yeah, if I can't have you, nobody else can. A lot of people have their egos and knowing that they need help. A lot of people know that they need help, right? A lot of people be knowing they need help, but they refuse to get help. They refuse to get help, and other people have to suffer the consequences because of the things that they won't face in their own lives. If you know that you need help, like I would know those stories and stuff I was sharing about the governor that shot his wife and things like that. Hey, mom, how you doing? Just talking about the difference between mental health and mental illness, because a lot of people don't know the difference. They assume mental illness is just cause you go and shoot up a school. Yes, that's crazy. That's something you shouldn't do. But you do when you walked up in that school, you knew what you was doing. I'm just saying this for example because a lot of people love to holler, "Oh, they got mental illness. Oh, that's what's going on. That's why they doing the things they do." But it don't mean that all the time. So today I'm just gonna be sharing what is the difference between mental health and mental illness. And like I said, I got my disclaimer up here, and I'll let people know this is just commentary. So I'll be reading to y'all about first thing you got to know what mental health is. And I've been sharing awareness and talking about it for years, on this channel here. I've been I made t-shirts. I got t-shirt with mental health awareness on it. I use my platform to be the voices for the ones that can't speak. But we all have mental health. Let's get that straight first. So I'm going to just do the brief definition of mental health, and then we're going to go into the difference of each one. Thank y'all for coming in. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. We got Life with Sharon in here. She do her thing every morning. You want to get a nice conversation and a workout, she'll give it to you. We have Frank G in here. He does his commentary on his sports. He does positive messages, and he also be part of the challenges. But this month we just taking a little break. But he does different things on his channel. We also had Ginseng in here. He speak another language, and he always has been part of my channel. He always come in, but he do have things on his channel. So if y'all want to be part of any of those channels just came in, they're just connect with them and leave them a positive comment on their videos, but watch the video all the way to the end. So we're finna get into my commentary. This is something I like to do. If I'm not sharing about my health or some type of awareness or doing a little meal prep, I'm somewhere with my family, I share family things. I'm also trying to find things to keep myself motivated. That's why I've been doing my cardios. You know, I have those the days where I can't do them, but by me been doing them lately, it helped. It's like therapy for me. It helped me with my mental health. You know, I have mental health, but I don't have mental illness. I have anxiety disorder, and that is considered a mental disorder, not a mental illness. Just why I say you got to know the difference. You got to know the difference. You know, anybody that deal with schizophrenia and different things like that, you know, those are disorders. But some of these disorders are treatable, and some are not. But it all depends on what you trying to do for yourself. What are you doing to better yourself? You know. So I'm going to tell y'all the meaning of mental health, and then I'm going to let you know the difference. But I hope everybody has been doing great. I got to leave that disclaimer. I'm here. I'm just behind this picture right here. Yes, I've been doing pretty good past couple of days. I've been able to get on up and do my little cardios, and you know, still have those aches and pain, but I just keep saying, Lord, give me the strength. Mental health is emotional, psychological, and social well-being that influence how individuals think, feel, act, and cope with life stresses. It's not merely absence of illnesses, but a continuum that impact everyday functioning, relationship, and decision making throughout our life. Mental health changes ranges from feeling healthy, confident to struggling or being in crisis rather than just being sick or well. Like I said, everybody deal with mental health. Everybody have those Monday blues, those days that you just want to just be by yourself, or like Frank was just saying, he just chilling this week. You might have those days where you just don't want to post on social media, and you're entitled to have those type of days. You're entitled to have a break. You're entitled to make sure you good. Taking care of you, ain't nothing wrong with that. And I just want to shout out everybody that's doing something to make them feel better. They're doing something for them when it comes down to their health and their spirituality, the things they trying to do, financial things that you're trying to do for your life. Shout out to everybody that's doing that. Your fitness, your health, everything. I see a lot of people are focusing more on their health because right now, y'all, we got to take care of ourselves. We really do. We really do have to take care of ourselves. We have to keep telling ourselves, you know, we can do this. Even though last week I was having that pain, but I still want to try to push myself. But I said, no, I'm just going to do what the doctor said. He told me to keep my leg up last week. And that's what I did. I rested. Take time to rest. Take time to take care of you. So we all deal with mental health. We all deal with it. Mental health doesn't mean you have a mental illness. Mental health is what I just said. You have sometimes you might be going through a one of them days you probably just, you know, and a lot of people don't understand. Some people, when people be like, they have emotional, a lot of stuff going on in their mind, and they have to deal with it the best way they can. It is a fundamental human right and crucial part of our well-being. So our mental health is part of what we go through. It's part of our life. It is influenced by social, emotional, economic factors like trauma or environment, as well as biological factors. Common symptoms relate to emotional well-being, physiological health, mental wellness, mental state. Examples of mental health state: feeling capable, confident, and able to navigate daily stress, work productively, maintain positive relationship. When you have mental health, and that's the majority of the people in the world that dealing with mental health. Some people still can have a normal life. Some people still have normal life. They still going with their everyday, whatever they decide they want to wake up to do. When God wake them up, they decide they want to start their day doing their fitness, or they go to work, or they whatever they have plans for their day. You're capable of doing those things. So they say mental health issues, conditions. These can range from moderate distress, such as everyday worries, sadness, high stress, to severe disorder like anxiety, depression, bipolar disorder, and schizophrenic. Like I said, I have a mental health disorder. I have a anxiety disorder. Hey, Tara, how you doing? And my anxiety comes from sadness, emotional, when I get real emotional, because like I said, I've been doing good the last couple of, since my mom died. I had to regroup myself. I had to get myself back on track, because I went into sadness, and I'm still sad. They had to increase my medication because I had started to, my emotions was real bad. Only thing I would do is just cry, which I still do. You know, I it's a lot losing a parent. So, like I said, but my anxiety come from trauma, getting too overwhelmed. When I get overwhelmed about things, I tend to panic. And sometimes when I panic, I end up, it seems like I go into, I would say, I go into like I don't really be remembering what I be doing. I just know that I start breathing fast. It seems like I go into like a trance, or like a fit, and sometimes I blank out. But it all come from how severe I get, Because when I lost my mom, yes, and I think I told y'all, I think I had about 2 panic attacks. My daughter was like, "Mama, you got to stay with us. You got to stay with." My daughter was just tapping me. She was tapping on my heart, and she was telling me, "Mama, please don't close your eye." She was telling me, she was saying, "Keep breathing." See, I have to practice breathing a lot. That's why I try not to let stuff worry me. But it's not a mental illness. It's a mental health. I have a disorder, and I take medication for it. And they had increased it real high right after my mom died, because I wasn't able to rest. I was really just like a zombie, But now I'm doing my cardios. I'm trying to stay focused on me, trying to get myself back on track. You know what I'm saying? I can sit here and talk about what I go through, because this is what I go through, I'm not ashamed. I don't feel bad. Only thing I'm doing is trying to work toward getting better. And since I pray more. I always have prayed, but I pray more. I talk to God more. I start letting things go. I have been doing good with my anxiety, my depression, and things like that. I've been, you were talking about going into an emotional cocoon. An emotional cocoon is a physical place or mental place where a person escapes to art. But yeah, and see, I have been doing so good. I stopped. I had to let things go. But when my mama passed, everything just, I went back into sadness and crying. And it's just like when my mom died, it took a part, like a part of me left. And now I'm just trying to bounce back and get myself back to where I was. But it's been hard and it's still a challenge, but I can see my way now. I'm starting to manage my anxiety. I'm some things I just have to let go. Oh, okay. With unwanted emotion, unpleasant situation, example, emotional calculation, alcohol, or yeah. So a lot of people turn to stuff like that. But right now I turn to, I always have turned to God, but I turn to God even more now, y'all. I need to, my mom died. They wanted to put me in, I went to this place where for therapy, but it costed so much. I couldn't afford to be there. They asked me, I never told y'all this. They wanted me if I wanted to stay at the place. And I was like, no, my children, Mom, you go in there. Don't people go tell you. No. So what I did, I did not go to the facility to stay. I just talked to some people for grieving and stuff like that. Because sometimes when you go into those places, sometimes you come out worse than what you be. So after they got to telling me the prices and things like that I was going to have to pay just to get some counseling, I started pulling out my Bible. Hey, OG, I pulled out my Bible. I joined an online grieving group, and I'm still part of that group now. And, we share our feelings, and I be able to talk and share about some of the things that I'm feeling. And like I said, giving it to God and having support from my family, sharing about I'm telling y'all the difference between how you been doing, OG, with them carrots. You still eating them carrots? I'm here. I'm just talking behind this picture. You been doing okay? But we have to know the difference between mental health and mental illness. Don't be quick to tell somebody, oh, they just got mental illness. No, you got to know what it means. And some mental illness, they are, you can treat them with medication. You can do it with rest, exercising, counseling. It all depends on if you want to get help. You know how some people go out and do all this crazy stuff. Some people already know their situation, but they don't try to help themselves. It all come out to taking care of you. You got to want to take care of yourself. If you go out there hurting people, it ain't like you don't know what you're doing. That's why I hate when people say, "Oh, they shot up that school. They crazy." Yeah, they was crazy for doing that, but they knew exactly what they was doing. When you go in a school or go try to hurt somebody, you already know in your mind what you want to do to those people. So don't try to put that on mental illness. If you know you got a mental illness, why not get help? Why go out and hurt other people? Sometimes you got to know the red flags of people. There'll be red flags out there, and some people just ignore the red flags. They try to just go on. Or some people don't like to be involved in other people's situations and stuff like that. But if you know somebody, you really know somebody got a mental issue, mental illness, and you know they're doing some things to hurt someone, you should be able to try to help them if they let you help them. So there are 1-800 numbers. There are numbers out there to help people that are going through mental illness, but they're afraid to get the help they need. Sometimes you have to let that ego stop thinking you like, yeah, because a lot of them, not picking on my men, but a lot of our men won't go get themselves checked out because they have their pride, they have their egos. But if you go out and commit all these different things, yes, they're going to look at you like you crazy because you're doing these things. So today I just want to just share about mental health awareness and what the difference with mental illness. So I'm talking about what is mental health, which we all deal with. Like I said, I have a disorder, and it's a mental health, not a mental illness. Because I could be fine, but as soon as I go through some type of trauma, yes, my anxiety level go up. It goes up. But I've been doing pretty good lately. Lost my mom. I mean, yeah. Right after she died, I went through it, and I still have my emotional moments. I still do. My daughter called me yesterday, and the Mother Day was Sunday. My daughter called me and said, "My mama, you still crying?" I said, "I'm all right." But I have those moments. But that don't mean I got a mental illness because I'm showing my emotion about losing my mom. So I'm gonna finish reading this right here. Welcome in everybody that came through. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Let me refresh my computer right quick. I just had to refresh my computer. We had OG to come in. We had Life with Sharon. We had Frank G. Jen Sink. I think that was his name. Thanks to the one that did come through. But I don't know who that is. I'm talking about the meaning of mental health. A lot of people don't know the difference between mental health and mental illness. A lot of people don't know. And right here, I just put on the screen right here the statistics of mental health. A lot of people don't know that this is not something new. This is something that happens every day. But the thing about it, what you want to do about it, if you are dealing with some type of mental issues, are you gonna continue to go out there and keep hurting someone? Or are you gonna take care of yourself? Amy Moore talking about having a healthy emotional purge. An emotional purge is just like having an emotional bowel movement. It release, yeah. But some people, Terry, they refuse to get help. They rather go out and hurt other people. They rather go out and hurt other people instead of facing the facts about, like I know there's a lot of things going on out in the world now with this. The food prices, the gas prices, all that stuff is depressing. It's depressing. Gas over $4. Some people probably ain't got money to buy gas. Some people probably can't afford to buy the food. But there are places that can help people with food because I'm sure in most places, in most cities, they have places where give away some groceries. It might not be what you want, but you still able to get something. I don't know, like the people in our area, they have it's be like a truck where they bring food for people. Like if you need stuff, I think they go by the income. I believe they do, and then they try to do stuff to help people. They might give them some gas vouchers or things like that because people know time is hard now, and it's enough for a lot of people to go through. There's a lot of things that cause people to have anxiety. A lot of cause people to be stressing and stuff like that. Emotion from inside the body forms the emotional period include crying, praying, singing, anxiety. And see, I know when I have my anxiety, it's caused by trauma, like I said, being too overwhelmed, and I get sad, I cry. Like I said, I've been through it. I've been through it, but I'm where I'm able to manage it a little bit more. So the factors that impact your mental health: poverty, like I just said, poverty, unemployment, social security, and community environment. Though I said a lot of this stuff causes people to act out. You know, some people might end up getting a check cut, or they don't have the food, they don't have the housing. You know, it's a lot that we don't know what everyday people are going through. We don't know what people are going through every day with their life situations, their financial situation, their physical health, their mental health. All that is very important. So these are just some factors that play a part of your mental health. Family history, mental health. You know, you might have family that deals with some type of chronic mental health, like some type of mental illness, you know, and you got to know how to be able to deal with them. We must remember the teaching of the entrepreneur, public speaker, Myron Go, let your environment limit your vision. True. So I'm just reading like some what is mental health and the impact it does on our lives, and you'll be able to tell the difference between mental health and mental illness. Life experience like trauma, abuse, and prolonged stress. Like I said, my anxiety, depression come from trauma. You know, I was, you know, even though this happened when I was at a young age, I was abused. I was raped at 8 years old. And that's something that is in me. That is something that never seen. I mean, I'm 57 years old, but that is something that happened to me that is part of that have it's just part of my it's part of my mental health. It's part of what I had to deal with as a young child. And as an adult, I can share about it because I know there are other children out there being raped and abused by their own relatives. And that kind of stuff there really do triggers me. I when I when I watch a movie like that, if I'm watching a movie about a child getting abused, rape, it really triggers me. It takes me back to where I was 8 years old. And see that kind of stuff, it can't leave me. It's part of me. But I'm where I had my life. I got my life, and I try to teach my kids, and I try to teach my grandkids. I tell them all the time, I don't care who it is. If they your relative, whatever. If they mess with you in the wrong way, tell somebody. Do not keep that to yourself. I was 8 years old, and my mama was the first person I told because my aunt didn't believe me. And that's why I said, talk to your children, see what's going on, see who they following, see who they'll stand with. I ain't play my children stand with nobody. Mm-mm. Just a month ago, Booster, my little granddaughter, wanted to go stay with somebody down the road from us. I told my daughter no. And I'm glad she didn't go stay with them people because the little girls turned on her. They supposed to be her friend, but as soon as another child came around doing little stuff, they turned on my grandbaby. And I'm glad my daughter didn't let her go down there and stay with them because don't tell them what they would have did to her. That's why I said, everybody that laugh with you, everybody that smile with you is not your friend. Everybody is not your friend. Soon as they get another type of friend that come around that want to bully you or bother you, they get with the bully and leave the friend. That ain't your friend. So my baby had to learn. She's 7 years old. She had to learn. Look, that's why we didn't want her staying down in them people's houses. At the time, they was all good, but soon as somebody else came over to play with the little girls, they want to turn on my grandbaby, pull her hair, and do all kind of crazy stuff to her. She came home crying. Now they want to start by playing with her. I know children gonna be children, y'all. Children are going to be children, but that's what you teach your children at home. Tell them not to mess with nobody else's children. Stop pulling up hair. Stop doing all that stuff. You got to teach your children that. Now they want to apologize. The mama ain't be coming up there telling my daughter, "Oh, I don't want you to think that I'm raising a bully. We miss her and they sorry about what they did." I'm like, lady gone. My granddaughter ain't going right down now. That's why, that's why sometimes you have to watch your environment. You know, my granddaughter's young. She just like to play, but she really found out who were her friends. So right now I'm gonna get back to the factors of mental health: poverty, unemployment, social insecurity, community environment, family history of mental health condition, trauma, abuse, and prolonged stress. Personal choices: diet, physical activity, and social connections. A lot of this stuff does impact your mental health. How to maintain or improve your mental health: self-care, support system, professional help, and a routine. Practice your self-care. Practice positive habits like exercising, sleeping well, and eating healthy. Support system: connecting with your friends, family, and support group. It's good to have someone that supports you through things like this. You know, I had people texting me on Mother's Day, and my kids was checking on me because they knew how it was going to be Mother's Day. That's why my daughter took me out somewhere that Saturday, because she was trying to lift my spirits. She was trying to tell me everything will be okay. But if you have not lost a parent, you don't know the feeling. You don't know the feeling if you haven't lost a parent, a mom. I'm just going to put it like that. You know, you don't know the feeling. You don't know what a person feel or what they're going through. You only can share and give them encouragement and tell them, look, I'm praying for you and I pray that things work out for the best for you. But until you have grieved for a loss of a parent, you don't know. And I'm still grieving. So just right here is how to maintain or improve mental health, self-care support system. And I'm glad I do have a good support system. Self-care is not by having a person having going in their life. Okay. Professional help. Engaging with counselors, therapists, psychiatrists for therapy or medication. Like I said, you know, I needed to be at a counseling when my mom died, but I couldn't afford it. Them people got to coming out them prices, and then they wanted me to. They asked me that I want to be at the facility. I could have just admitted myself and stayed there, but I didn't think I needed to be there like that. I just really needed just to have somewhere to open up and talk. And I got that through talking to God. My family supported me, and I got the online group. A lot of people do have to get professional help with their grieving. They really do have to get professional help when it comes down to grieving, because it's hard. It's hard. And so I'm in a group. I'm in an online group. I share my feelings. I share about things, how I feel throughout the day, or if I want to, you know, put down how I'm feeling certain days of the week. And it could be just some of the littlest things just remind me of my mom. And, you know, but I think I'm doing okay to be well, to be expected for my mom to be gone at least 4 months now. And, you know, it's still a work in progress for me. That's why I try to do my cardio. They help me keep my mind at ease, stuff like that. So I just told y'all what is mental health. So, and things that you could do for your mental health. And anytime that you're where you just can't take care of yourself and need help, don't be scared to reach out to people. Don't be scared to reach out to people, because people go through that, y'all. You know, a lot of people be ashamed when they have to go through things like that. But just know you're not alone. You're not alone. It's millions of people that are going through mental health. So I'm gonna read. They said do a routine. That means, like I told my husband a while ago, I said my channel is kind of like it's kind of like my channel is kind of like my hobby. It's something that I like to do. It's something to help keep my mind off a lot of stuff. I come on, I share, I talk, and sometimes it feels good for me to be able to come on and talk to people, and that helps. That's helped my mental health. That helped my mental health. Shame is the only emotion you have to co-sign for shame to have it in power. Please don't. Yeah, I'm not ashamed of anything that I go through. I thank God I have came a mighty long way. I'm a bag of water. I have cried for days, but I know those tears, they do dry up. They dry up, but I've been there. When I first found out I had cancer, and they told me I had cancer, I cried for days because my faith was tested back then. I was scared. I didn't have the faith that I have now. That's why I said yesterday, sometimes those setbacks and those things you go through make you stronger and make you realize that God is real. And I know he ain't gonna put no more on me than I can bear. You see that? I know that every single day of my life that he won't. He won't. Sometimes our load get heavy and we be wondering how we gonna be able to carry that load. But there's a way out. So I try to use my platform to share things like this. May got a lot of awareness, Tomorrow I'll be talking about women, National Women Wellness Month. I'm gonna probably be talking about that when I do my cardio. So, like I said, routine. Maintain something that you like to do every day. If a lot of people say they don't like to be on their social media every day, or uh, they might not want to be on a channel every day. Whatever is comfortable for you. Do things that are comfortable for you. Some people use their social media for their outlet. It's like I said, it's a hobby. It's like a hobby to me. Yes, I might be monetized, but it ain't like I'm getting no coins like that. But I thank God for whenever I get them. I mean, but it's something that helps with my therapy right now. It's just because it keep me busy. It keep me busy. So that's what I was just sharing about mental health. You got to know the difference with mental health and mental illness. So I went over what is mental health. It's a state of emotional, psychological, and social well-being that influence how individuals think, feel, act, cope with life stresses. You know, I ain't met no one that say they never worry. Cause we all worry. It just is it just where some people might not show. They might not show that they're worried, but a lot of us do worry about stuff that we can't control. And that ain't nothing but stress. Nothing but stress. I know I had to let go of a lot of things. I had to let go of a lot of things, people, and I had to change up my way of doing things for my own mental health. You see what I'm saying? It ain't nothing wrong with changing your circle. Ain't nothing wrong with doing things that best for you. Cause if you feel like that something is tearing you down, get away from it. Get away from it. That's why I always say my motto over here: if I can't lift you up, I'm not gonna tear you down, because I know how it feels to be down. I know how it feels to be down. I have been there. I have been there where I wasn't sure if I was going to have enough money to have a decent meal. I have been there. I have been there where I wasn't able to get some of the things that I have now. I have been there. Bringing up children in, like taking care of families now, the way how things are now, I know it's a lot of depression going on. You can't, like we finna get ready to go on our vacation, but we had planned this trip over a year ago, and it's good to have planners and things that you can put down and pay along the way. But right now, you really can't just do some of the things that you want to do because it does cost. But there's a way where they can work things out for you. So I'll be leaving the 24th through the 29th. Y'all just keep me and my family in prayer. We'll be getting on that boat. But I'm just saying, it's stressful time right now. But we can't let it get us so stressed out and we forget about what we are doing and who we are. Yes. That's why I always say, I might not have everything I want. I thank God I got some of the things I need. So right here, I'm just reading here before I get into mental illness, just telling what is mental illness. Right here, I'm just showing on the screen about May is Mental Health Awareness Month. 1 in 5 of the United States adults experience mental illness each year. 1 in 20 United States adults experience serious mental illness each year. 1 in 6 youth age 6 through 17 experience a mental health disorder each year. And like I said, this is commentary. This is not here to diagnose or suggest any type of treatment. I have my disclaimer right there. I'm a lifestyle vlogger where I share wellness, from wellness to meal prep to entertainment to current events, family time. I talk about self-care. I'm all about keeping myself motivated and lifting over others and not tearing them down. So I share with y'all what is mental health. Now I'm going to tell y'all what is mental illness. But first, I want to get into this list right here. These are just some disorders. Like I said, this doesn't mean that you have, this doesn't mean that people cannot label you as you got mental illness. Because if some of these things on this list that you're dealing with, they are treatable. They are treatable, and it's all depending on if you want to take care of yourself. Because when I first had my first anxiety, I can remember it had been about, probably about 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years ago. I can say that. It'd been some years ago. I remember when I first had one, and I done shared this a million times. When me and my kids went out to the mall, and they just had that trial last month. And all them years, they just not sentencing that man for killing them folks at that mall. That was the first time I got traumatized, running for my life. And that's been a long time ago, because I can't run now. But I skip or hop or whatever. But I would say it's been about 10, 12, 13 years ago when I first started having anxiety. Because that day there, it was a lot of people passing out that day because everybody was scared. Gunshots were going everywhere. Children were flying. Running here and there. People was on their wheelchairs, walking. We was at a public mall. Hey, Sess, how you doing? You been doing okay? I read your comment about Sunday. I know your day was hard too. If y'all didn't know, Sassy had lost her mom, and yeah, she lost her mom too, and it was her first Mother Day without her mom. Still praying for you, my sister. Like I told you when me and you talked on the phone, because I had to reach out to you and see how you was doing because I'm going through it too. Even though my mom had gone 4 months, yours been gone about a month, right? Have it been a month? Yeah, it's good to see you too. Yep. Last week I was having so much pain in this old knee, child. And I saw what you were saying, what you getting done. I had got an x-ray done, so I gotta see what my doctor say, but it's much better than last week, girl. I gotta get right. I'm going on my trip next week too. So I this week is much better because last week, it been 2 months. Okay. Last week I just really was just had my knee up, keeping it elevated, keeping ice on it, and taking my medication. I go to a pain center, and if it ain't in my knee, it's in my back, my hand, my shoulder. It says fibromyalgia, so it just be on different parts of my body, and my feet. But so far, my feet okay, but it just on knee. It let that bone, girl. Just got a dry knee. What is that? Is it something like for pain? I think I heard of it. I think I heard of it. But continuous prayers for you, Sassy, And I know Mother's Day was hard for you too, honey. I think I cried out half of the day. Them kids kept on checking on me. My daughter called me yesterday. Mama, you still cry? I was no, I'm all right today. I'm all right today, but it's hard, y'all. And that's messing with my anxiety. Yeah, I heard of that there, yeah. Because somebody had told me I need to try to see can I get that. And I'm gonna ask my doctor about it when I go back. So how you feeling since that going on? So you know how your bone, it's like my pain is in my bone. You know what I'm saying? The pain, like that bone, like the bone in my knee, the bones in my joint. That's what my pain mostly be. That's why I say it's bone on bone. And whoo, when I was trying to do some cardio the other week with my knee, I said, Lord, did I mess up some? But I have to try to keep going, y'all. It's be hard. I didn't feel good at all on Mother Day. I was painful not here. Yeah, child. Woo. Tell me about it, Sass. Tell me about it. Oh, have mercy. But we're gonna try to make it through it the best way we can. But today I was just sharing about mental health awareness because a lot of people don't know the difference between mental health and mental illness. They're quick to assume that someone, they would say quick, oh, they crazy. That don't mean a person crazy because they have anxiety. I have anxiety disorder. And my doctor told me I have to take my medicine. If I don't take my medicine, I get oh, okay, thank you. If I go without taking my medicine and I get traumatized, I go into panics and I start breathing fast, and that mess with my heart. And like I said, I don't try to let nothing bother me, especially people on social media. I refuse to let people I don't know mess with my mental health. I let them think what they want, let them feel what they feel, but I'm not finna have a heart attack. I'm not finna worry myself about people I don't know. You know what I'm saying? If you fool with me, you fool with me. If you don't, you don't. Hey, I'm good. That's a problem I won't have to deal with. You see what I'm saying? And see, I can say that because I don't have to deal with people in that way. You come to my channel, it's fine. You don't, it's fine. I still gonna go on with my life. You have anxiety too? But girl, but right here, like I said, a lot of people don't know the difference. Even though I'm not here to My channel is not here to suggest, diagnose. I speak on things because this is what I deal with. I can only speak on what I deal with. You know what I'm saying? But I know there are millions of people that are going through some of these disorder right here. Yeah. And like I said, when I had my first panic attack, it was like, I would say about 12, 13, 14 years ago, because I was running for my life. This guy was shooting up the mall. And that was the first time I got traumatized. And that's what the doctor said. And when I started having panic attack, it because when I get too overwhelmed, because I got overwhelmed when my mom passed, so I ended up having some because my emotions, I couldn't stop crying. My breathing was all messed up. And my daughter's a nurse, and honey, my daughter had them beat me so in my heart, right? My daughter had them beat me so in my chest would hurt. She was like, Mom, I had to do that because you about to leave out of here. We didn't want to lose you, and we just lost grandmama. You know, they said they had to keep a beat me in my chest that night my mama died. Because I was going out. Because I was just over there seeing my mom. You know what I'm saying? And I take medication daily. And I have shared this with y'all. I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm not ashamed to say or talk about nothing that I have went through and nothing that I'm still struggling with. But I know I got God on my side. And I know I will continue to heal. I will continue to keep healing. But it's a process. Yeah. PTSD post. Yeah. Yeah. That's why my kids be like, Mama, is anybody on that YouTube bother you? My kids, I'm telling you, they always concerned about me. And I told them I don't have that problem on my channel. I don't have to argue with nobody. I don't have to deal with people. You know, whether you come or not, you know, I can't worry about it. And I'll just let my family know that I don't let, you know, I try to let social media mess with my mental health. But one thing, I'm not a pushover. I'm not a wimp. I will defend myself. You know what I'm saying? But I try not to get there. People would bring you out your character. They will do it. I have done it. But I'm like, is it worth me getting all upset about? I don't know you, and you don't know me. And we're going to leave it just like that. But yeah, I'm doing better with it. Like I said, I had been doing good. I had, before my mom passed, I had a panic attack in about a whole year. Before my mom passed, I had been doing so good. As soon as my mom passed, everything just hit me. It just boom. But since that night she passed, I had to get myself right. That's why y'all didn't never see me, because I was going through it. They had to increase my medicine, the rest. I mean, I went through it, Sass. I really did. My doctor gave me this strong medicine, and it really made me rest real good. But after they saw that I was doing pretty good, you know, I started getting back to myself a little bit, because they didn't want me to take that medicine and take pain medicine too, because they said it'll mess me up. So they didn't want me to be too out of it. That's why during the day, sometimes y'all might not see me, because I be resting. I been took my medication, because my rest, I need that rest, and I need to make sure I'm taking that medicine for my pain and stuff. But yeah, he took me out that medicine after I started going to the pain center. I said, I be walking around here like somebody gonna be needing them drugs. Hey, Miss Key, how you doing? Yeah, it is a timeline. You been doing okay? I was trying to read what Sassy had said a while ago. She had said something earlier. But yeah, I'm talking about mental health and mental illness. A lot of people don't know the difference. These are disorders right here, y'all. Like I said, I have shared with y'all, I deal with things like this. I got family member that is schizophrenic and stuff like that. But if you don't never go get yourself seen out, yes, it'll turn to an illness because you're just letting you're not taking care of yourself. But these disorders are treatable. And there is help out there for people that going through these type of things. But you gotta want to get help. You doing, Miss Key? What you been up to? I missed your live today. I came over, but you were through when I well, that's good. And you know, I'm just doing my thing over here. You know, I be getting feeling good. I started coming live. Cause last week I wasn't. Cause you text me, you like, Georgia girl, you okay? Well, you don't been seeing me a couple days. You know something going on, Mickey. You know me just that well. And so I felt pretty good to try to, do some stuff this week. But I'm gonna make sure I take care of me. You know what I mean? So right here, I was just talking about the difference between mental health and mental illness. And right here on the screen, these are mental health disorders. Anxiety disorder, attention deficit disorder called ADD. And there's a lot of people deal with this. A lot of people deal with these disorders, y'all. ADHD, bipolar disorder, depression, eating disorder, personality disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, schizophrenic, psychotic disorder, substance use disorder. Some people are really, I'm in a good mood this week. You know how I was a few days ago too. But yeah, I had to get myself back on track, Miss Key. And my cardio be like my little therapy, help me keep my mind to stay positive. Yeah, there's a lot of people deal with that PTSD and that ADHD. There's a lot of people that have these disorders. But like I said, these disorders can be treated with medication. But if you refuse to get help, yes, it's going to stay in you. It's going to stay there with you. Attention. Yeah, my nephew was like that. Like he just could. And I be telling my daughter, I believe my grandson like that because he don't be paying attention to nothing. I'm like, boy, especially at school. My dad, they found out my nephew like that because he was just like, oh my God. And he wasn't paying attention in class, and they say he had the ADHD. I mean, it's something that people have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? This is mental health, but it's disorders. But if you don't never get it treated, yes, it's a mental illness. So I share with y'all what mental health is. Now I'm going to tell y'all what mental illness is called. A lot of people don't know. They're quick to call people crazy or say you got a mental illness, but you got to first know what it is before you can label anybody. So if you have any of these things up here on this list, that don't mean you're crazy. This is something that you deal with, work on, get yourself treated. But if you don't get yourself treated and you go out there and hurt somebody, yes, they're going to say, yeah, well, we know he dealt with PTSD. You know he got a mental illness. If you never get yourself treated, I have heard and seen people deal with this. You have, yeah. And a lot of people have that PTSD when like they're being, like, especially a lot of ones that been in the army, they've been in different stuff like that, be having those flashbacks and stuff. Yeah, I know you told me that. I know you told me your daughter was working with people like that. So never be ashamed of your story. Never be ashamed of what you're going through. Like I just shared with y'all about the majority of the stuff I deal with. And it's a work in progress, guy. It's a work in progress. But I thank God that I keep God in my life. I keep God first in my life, whatever I do. I talk to him about my problems. I said, Lord, I need you. I'm not ashamed to tell nobody in my chat. I call on God's name. And I said, Lord, I need you. Help me through this. Give me the strength to keep going. I don't mind hollering his name out, telling him, Lord, I need you. How many people in the chat can say, Lord, I need you, and not ashamed to say it? If you're not ashamed to say, Lord, I need you, put in the chat, Lord, I need you. If you're not ashamed to say that, I need him. I need him in my life every day. He the one that wake me up. He the one that give me breath every day. He the one that help keep me with my mental state. Sometimes you be wondering how you gonna make it throughout the day. Sometimes you be saying, Lord, like I was going through what I was going through last week. I was like, Lord, my legs hurt. And I knew Mother Day was, all that was my anxiety, y'all. I was dealing with my anxiety last week. I was dealing with pain because I knew Mother's Day was coming up. And everything that was getting all emotional for me, leading all up to Mother's Day. And I was just saying, Lord, I need you. Not just today, but I need you every day. Maria said, it good be over here preaching and everything. No, but no. I'm not ashamed to say, woo, go. You better say it. You'll be lost without him. You know, I know you lost your mom, Sassy. I lost my mom. But I know you turned to God too. I know you turned to God and said, Lord, we might not understand this, but we know this was your will. And it took me a while. And it's still, even though my mom ain't gone 4 months, I still sometimes say, Lord, why she had to leave me? But I know she have done. She have done what she have done on this earth for 86 years. And I said, Lord, I got to pull myself together. I said, give me the strength every day, Lord. Give me the strength to be able to do this. And it's good to have that's right. It's good to have a good support system. It's good to have family or friends. And you don't catch too many friends want to be involved especially when they know you're going through stuff. Some people don't like to, they rather just let you do your time and we'll get back together another time, whatever. But it's good to have a good support. It's good to have God in your life. I always put God first, and no matter what I do. I call on him. Sometimes my husband look at me like, you all right? Yeah, I'm all right. I talk to him, y'all. I really do. But right on the string, I wanted y'all to see the difference between mental health and mental illness. People are quick to say, well, y'all know it's a reason why God took your mother, because he want us to took our mother because he want us to have more a relationship with him. Yeah. Like I said, that's what I was talking about yesterday. Sometimes my mom was 88 years old. I'm grateful for the love and time. That's right. She was 88. Okay. Y'all, let's continue to keep Sassy in prayer too. She lost her mom 2 months ago. And I reached out to her and, we talked and, I'm glad to see she's, doing well to be expected. But it's a different kind of hurt. That's all I can tell you. And Frank, I know Terry, you lost your mom years ago. And a lot of people tell me, even though they probably lost their parent years ago, it's still, it was a lady, my daughter had took me, yes, he do. When my daughter had took me to that little R&B thing Saturday, it was for the mothers, she got me out of the house. She's like, Mom, get you out there, huh? And it was a lady sitting next to me, and she was like, her mom had been gone 10 years. And, when it come up to Mother's Day or birthday, all that it just come back to you. But right on the string, I just want to read what we was saying, the difference between mental health and mental illness. And people shouldn't take these words and just put it out there like, try to make it seem like people are crazy because they're dealing with stuff. That don't mean you're crazy. It's just that a lot of people just can't handle a lot of stuff like everybody. Some people are not as strong as others. Some people can just deal with stuff and it don't bother them. And then sometimes it takes others longer. So right here they said mental health is referred to your emotional, which I read before, psychological, social well-being. It affects how you think, feel, and act. It also helps determine how you handle your stress related to others and make choices. Everyone has mental health. Everyone. It is important at every stage of life. Mental illness. Mental illness referred to a wide range of conditions that affect your mood, thinking, and behavior. These conditions can impact daily life, relationship, and overall function. Mental illness are medical conditions that are often require professional treatment and support. And that's what a mental illness is, when you have to have, when a lot of people know they need professional help, but they refuse to get it. They still go out and try to hurt other people, knowing that you got a condition. If you're dealing with schizophrenia, if you got a bipolar disorder and you never get treated for it, and then you want to go out there and act out and do crazy stuff to hurt somebody, yes, they're going to label you as with a mental illness because you never tried to take care of yourself. And that's what it's all about, taking care of yourself, taking care of yourself through the process, and everything takes time. So I'm just going to read some more about mental illness because I did read some things about mental health. I don't consider myself having a mental illness. I say I have a mental health disorder, and it deal with anxiety and depression. And I'm on medication for it. A lot of people say they don't have to take medicine for it, but when you be traumatized and things like that, and my doctor told me I need to take my medicine every day. That's what my doctor told me, y'all. You need to take your medicine every day. They told me don't. They said take your medicine every day. That's what my doctor told me. Because like I said, I have had talk to psychiatrists. I'm not ashamed to tell people. I'd had to have therapy before with my depression. This was way before, when I had the cancer and stuff. I done been there, y'all. And I thank God I have came a mighty long way. Hey, Kenneth, how you doing? Good to see you. It's good to see you. So right here, I'm just going to read. We're talking about mental health and mental illness. And, like I said, this right here helps me. When I share and talk about stuff like that, it helps me. It helps keep me motivated because of what I deal with. And I hope that some of the things that I share do be helpful, but always, y'all see that disclaimer there? Consult professional help. I have the 1-800 numbers up here. This is just commentary. This is my take on things because of what I have been through. Did you see what I told God? I know I was reading what you were saying earlier. I must have missed it. Hold on, let me go back and get it. These comments rolling by, y'all. They are rolling by. Okay. That's Miss Keisha, that's why your channel is very important, especially you have been through so many life experience that you're able to share with others, and you're very comfortable sharing. That's a good thing. Yeah. Thank you, Miss Key. Did you see what I told? I told God, okay. My biggest warning, my prayers. I know you had told me about that, Terry. People don't seek professional. Terry said, I'm gonna get to you, Frank. I'm strolling up. I missed these comments too. Terry said the number one reason people don't seek professional mental health service is that they don't want to be on a lot of antidepressants. Yeah, and anxiety drugs. That's was one. I know, and I be praying to get off of mine, but if I get too overwhelmed or traumatized, I have. I mean, I've been taking it for years now. Frank said, yes, I told God before my mother passed away that I hope she get better either on earth or in heaven. I feel you, Frank. So that's what you had said. So you was, I mean, I know you was sad, but you was all right when your mom passed. I don't know. Did you tell me what had happened to her? I forgot what you told me what happened to her. But were you at peace with it? See, I had to make peace. I had to make peace with it and accept. And once I start accepting what has happened, I sit back and I was like, yeah, she's in a better place because she's in no more pain. I said my mama, a the week before she died, my mama was crying every day. She was crying that she was in pain. The doctors couldn't really give her, they can give her something, but it wasn't happening. She just was in so much pain. It hurted me to see her like that because I know I deal with pain too. And I'm glad y'all don't see me. I had to take deep breaths. But yeah. And then, as time passed, I know she's in no more pain. And she used to be crying. I used to be crying right there with her. I used to be crying because it was like, what can I do? Mama, all day I used to have to do, I used to go over there and rub her legs, and me and her both were dealing with pain some days at the same time. And she was like, this stuff ain't no joke. And I said, you right, mama, it ain't no joke. But just I told him that I was at peace and I'm still at peace. And that's good. Once we start to be at peace and being able to accept, and it is still hard for me, Frank. You could tell when I talk about my mom. You could tell it's still hard on me. But I know a lot of people tell me that it get a little easier, but it's just something you just got to deal with. It take years sometimes. She did. She did. I gotta stop now because I'm behind the camera. Y'all can't see me no way. But yeah, she did. I remember one day I had to take my mom. Me and my brother and them had to take my mom to get some. They wanted her to get some X-rays over on her chest, right? She cried. Lord no, my mama cried all day. She was crying in the when they got ready to do the test on her. She was crying in there. And then, my mama couldn't walk, and they had to put her in a wheelchair to put her back in the car. She cried all the way home, y'all. And that's just how much pain she was in. We all at McDonald's, and the people just looking like, they looking at us like, are y'all doing something to that lady? And I was like, Mama, my mom wanted to be in her bed. She felt better when she got home. She stopped crying. She did. She didn't want to be up there around no people. All right. But y'all, it's still hard on me. But I just ask God to continue to keep me strong. But yeah, because don't let no one label you. Don't let no one label you. If you're dealing with any type of disorder, they don't have the right to label you. They don't have the right to label you. They don't have the right to say this is what's going on with you. If they have not walked in your shoes and they don't know what you're going through, they don't have that right to speak on it. You know what I'm saying? I think it out camera. I had to get my face clear. Had to get my eyes clear, y'all. Had to get my eyes right. But then me down here. Y'all see me in the circle down now. I'm finna get up here on the camera. But yeah, I try to hey y'all. I try to have my platform for like where people can come here and share things and don't be judged. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we all gonna have to get there. We all gonna have to go. We really do. We really gonna have, we really are. So I'm gonna share this about mental illness because a lot of people don't really know what mental illness is. They quick to assume they think they know, but you don't know what a person that's going through some of these things that we have talked about today. Hey, Joshua, come in, you speak now. I see you. You said, I'm done with my workout. I'm losing a lot of weight. Okay, Joshua. I didn't even know you was in the chat. Well, hello, hello, hello. How are you doing? That's Joshua, everybody. Okay. Yeah. When I was live the other day, I was trying to make sure something was going on. Y'all see my new glasses? They're a little bigger than the other one, a little clearer too. So today I just wanted to share because a lot of people didn't know. That's right. You entering my home. Okay. You enter my home. When you enter my home, you're supposed to come in and say, hey, host. Hey, Miss Georgia girl. Hey, Georgia girl. But Joshua wanted everybody to know that he's losing a lot of weight. And he's doing his fitness. And shout out to you, Joshua. Keep doing what you're doing over there. Shout out to everybody that's doing something to make them feel better. Whatever you're doing to make you feel better, do you. Do you. But Kenneth, I see you had came in here. How you been doing? But yeah, like y'all remember when I was sharing about the man what killed his wife, right? The governor what killed his wife. They said he had some mental illness, and they said he was telling people. What good is telling people like your friends and you're not going to see about yourself? It's you, it's not your friends. You can't wait on your friends to do something for you. You got to want to do it for yourself. Your friends can encourage you to do it, or they can say, why you haven't been to your doctor appointment, or why you won't go see about yourself. But you got to be the one want to make that change. Like Michael Jackson, make that change. You got to be the one that want to make that change. If you know you're dealing with with different stuff, you got to see about yourself. When that doctor told me about different things that I had to do for me, yes, I struggle. I struggle with stuff. But I think about it. Whenever it get to where I need to be, it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it because it's going to be concerning my health. But you got to want to put your foot forward trying to get where you need to get. I've been doing okay. I'm doing a little better than I was last week, Joshua. How you been doing? And I'm sorry I wasn't able to get you on the autism thing, but maybe one day we can do it, and you can come up and share. I don't know what happened to you that day, but I looked for you. So I did end up having another guest on that day. But you seem like you're doing pretty good over there. Keep doing what you're doing. Y'all make sure y'all check out Joshua. He's been doing his workouts. So he said he's losing a lot of weight. You got that confidence, Joshua. So keep having that confidence in you. Like I said, it's a process. It's a process on everything. So mental illness is referred to as a wide range of health conditions that affect person thinking, feeling, mood, or behavior. You been doing good? Yeah, I'm doing pretty good today. I had a rough Mother's Day, but I thank God, I was able to manage. I had my days. I had my day, but um, mental illness referred to a wide range of health conditions that affect person thinking, feeling, mood, behavior, often causing distress, impairing daily function. When you have a mental illness, that's is something that you just deal with every day, and they done tried everything to help you, but it still comes down to you wanting help. Thank you. It still comes down to you wanting to have help. Like Tara was saying about the medication and stuff like that. Cora Robinson took out her husband. Who is that? Corey Riches took out her husband, and she life in jail. So what did they do to that governor? Had you found out anything about? I gotta look her name up. Did you find anything about what did they do to that governor? They trying to say he had some mental illness issues, right? But he never went and see it by himself. See, a lot of those people try to put that in court, but they could try to cut their charges down. And like when the man killed the little girl that Lewis was talking about. Hey, First Lady, how you doing? Good to see you. Like the man would kill the little girl, the delivery driver would kill the little girl, right? No, they gave him life. They giving him life, right? They gonna inject him for life. Trying to say he had some mental illness issues because his mama drank alcohol while she was pregnant. But that still wasn't no excuse for him to kill that little girl, though. I've been doing okay. I feel better than I was last week. I feel better than I was last week. Yeah. I was dealing with pain, and also my emotion was working on me too, because I know it was leading up to Mother's Day. And that's what I'm speaking on now. I have a disorder, but it's manageable. I'm managing it. But if you never take care of yourself, and you don't never take care of yourself and do what you got to do to make you feel better, yes, it can easily turn into illness, because you're not doing anything to help yourself. And like the man what killed that little girl, he's trying to say because his mama drank alcohol and all that kind of stuff that caused him to be the way he was. But that didn't make him go and kidnap that little girl and kill that little girl, rape and did all things he did to her. People use mental health, mental illness as excuses instead of taking care of their problem, dealing with what they need to deal with, and get their life back on track instead of going out here hurting people. I gotta look the lady up. Put her name in the chat again, Frank. But yes, I was just talking about the difference between mental health and mental illness. Don't let someone label you because you have depression, anxiety, or you might have schizophrenic, or you might have ADHD, but PTSD. Yes, those are disorders. But if you never get it treated or see about yourself, and do go out and do crazy stuff, yes, you're gonna be labeled as someone with mental illness because you never see about yourself. I take medication for my disorder. And the way I was doing good for a whole year before my mom passed. And I was telling my doctor, I said, I don't know if I need to be taking this medicine now. But soon as my mama passed, I started having panics and breathing fast and getting all out of it. I was just out of it, passing out and everything. She was like, you need to stay on your medicine. Because I had got too overwhelmed. I got upset. And I try not to let stuff bother me. I let people and social media, that is out of the question for me. Before I let anybody upset me, and it have happened, before I had let anyone upset me on social media, or if I had to deal with, I just won't come on. I would not give you that energy. And I had to learn this the hard way. Once you keep feeding the fire, it'll never go out. If you keep adding on to what they're saying and keep putting out stuff, they're going to keep going. They're going to keep going. As long as you sit there and give them that tension and keep feeding stuff, they ain't going to never let it go. And I had to learn the hard way. You cannot, and I'm not a people pleaser, and I would never be. If you deal with me, you deal with me. If you don't, you don't. You have your choice to come over here. You have your choice not to come over here. I can't worry about you. I cannot worry about people I don't know. You know what I'm saying? These people be getting all upset with people. You never met me. You see me on the stream. I have had people have issue with me in the past. I'm like, what did I do to you? I just come on and do what I do, talk what I talk, and go on about my business. But y'all see it. I can't, sometimes stuff be so laughable. You can just laugh at some of this stuff, y'all. Sometimes you just have to laugh at it. Sometimes you have to just laugh at these people. I'm a dog, you gonna run my blood pressure up. No. You gonna have my anxiety going all out the door. No. So, like I said, I had to change people, places, or things. Sometimes it's good to change your environment, places that you used to go, people that you used to be around. Sometimes you have to just let them go for your own mental health. And ain't nothing wrong with that. They're going to judge you. They're going to talk about you. They're going to say, but you got to make sure you okay. And that's me. You don't fool with me? Okay. If somebody else out there come over here, I'm fine. But I had to go through it though. I refuse to let social media have me sick. Only thing, you drop dead up here on this channel, worrying about people. You know what they gonna do? The people in your chat gonna do? Go to somebody else. They'll be like, ooh, that woman, no, she was worried about Sue in their channel. Judge girl, no, she was worried about Sue, what Sue got going on over there. The one thing I can't do, do you. You want to be on 24 hours? Do you. Do what makes you happy. What Frank said, I don't care what people say. No, you don't have to. You don't have to let that bother you. You don't know me. You don't know me. So that's this social media, my least word. I'm too busy trying to get my life, my health and stuff. I'm too busy with that. But there'll be those devils out there. There's some devils out there. They'll try to take you there. You do what you gotta do. Say what you gonna say, and keep going. I don't have that issue. I let people think what they want to, because they gonna do it anyway. But don't come in my chat with it. They'll be like, oh, what happened to Georgia girl? They'll be like, ooh, we didn't know she had it in her. Don't try me. The same people won't say that. That's true. But I'm just saying, people are so quick to judge people. They're so quick to assume, but they don't know you. They're quick to say, oh, she's so crazy. They'll be quick to call a person crazy when they ain't never had a conversation with them or have been able to meet them, So don't let nobody label you. If you deal with something, you deal with it. You know what I mean? But like I said, mental health and mental illness is two different things. And you can't, and they both matter. They both matter because it got something to do with your emotions, the way you take care of yourself. It's the way how your daily functions. And you get around here, like I said, I know about depression. I know about all that. I know about it all. Sometimes you feel like you don't want to keep going. But that just be that devil at you. The devil make you want to feel like that. It make you want to feel like you want to hurt yourself. They ain't nothing but the devil. I could always bring out the Frank. Tell me about it. Tell me about it, Frank. We try to just say, we do what we got to do. But I will defend myself now. I will defend myself. Those first years I was on YouTube, ooh, child. I was running into some devils. You hear me? I ran into some devils when I first got on YouTube. I'm just going to sit and tell you. I feel so good. I feel so good. I don't have to deal with that kind of stuff no more. I don't have to deal with that. I really don't. Like I said, long you keep feeding it, it's going to keep coming. That kind of stuff will mess with your mental health. You hear me? I refuse to let people mess with my mental health. I mean, I think I shared this when I was, I'm still part of the Dream Team. That's still the channel I started from. But it had got to the point where people were taking stuff personal. They was getting too personal with stuff. They would try to get your pictures and put them on their channels and try to talk bad about you, and because of people that they don't like. They would try to make you out to be a bad person or try to make you feel bad about who you are because you follow somebody they don't like. That's your problem. And I dealt with that when I first came on YouTube. People don't want to follow me because I follow this person. You never want to support me if you feel that way. You see what I'm saying? If you stop following me or stop coming to my channel because another person don't like me, you didn't like me either. That's how I feel about it. And I've been through it. I've been through it all, but I don't worry about that stuff now. I don't have to deal with it. I deal with who deals with me. And it's just as simple as that. I love my members. I love the people that support me. And if you stop supporting me, I'm not going to have an issue with you. You choose to go somewhere else. That's your prerogative. That's what you choose to do. But I'm not going to lose no sleep over you. Not me. And see, I went through it. Girl put my picture on girl had put my picture on her channel, calling me old, saying all kind of bad things about me. And it got up under my skin at one time. It had got to the point that I wanted to just close my channel. I want to just say I can't do this. Because I put my family on my channel. I share things about myself, my family. And I said, I don't want my family and I don't want to be bullied. I didn't want to be going through all that. And I didn't want to go back and forth with the girl. But she kept on doing that to me because of people I was with, moderate for, she didn't like. And that's wrong, people. That's wrong. Get to know people for yourself. Stop judging people because of what somebody else's action. And I always tell people, get to know me before you come out here and talk about, oh, this, that, whatever. I done had people stop following me because of other YouTube creators because they feel like they buddies and they don't come over here. So If they ain't coming over here, I ain't coming over either. That let me know you don't have your own mind. You don't have your own mind when you do that. You don't have your own mind when you do that. If anybody can tell you who to follow and you stop coming to someone's channel because you don't get along with that person, that is a personal problem, not a Georgia girl problem. So all that stuff do come into play with your mental health. You don't have to feed into it. Sometimes I don't have but one person over here. I still do what I gotta do. Sometimes I have 2, 3, 4, 5. I still come on here and do what I have to do. I cannot worry about the numbers or who. I didn't even know I had 4,000 people. So one day I looked up in what they call it, notifications or whatever they call it. Because I hadn't been looking at my numbers. I hadn't even been keeping up with how many subscribers I got. When I first started on YouTube, I was like, I want to go and get that 1,000. I got the 1,000. I got monetized and I got demonetized. Now I'm back monetized. And now I got 4,000 subscribers. But I wasn't, I was like, no, what I'm saying is, people, you don't have to just protect your mental health. I'm going to do what I can to protect my mental health. That's all I'm saying. I'm speaking on me. I care enough about myself to make sure I'm okay. And like they say, it's okay to be okay. It's okay to be okay. That's some little kid. He says, girl, I mean, call you girl. Right. Yeah, the house something on there, but I'm good. I thank God for the 2 or 3 that do come over here, the ones that come in my comments and tell me they appreciate me, they appreciate the commentary, and that keep me motivated. And I share what I share and do the things that I do, and I'm gonna continue to keep doing me. I'm gonna continue to keep taking care of me. I share what I share is my own motivation for me. I choose to have a wellness channel. I choose to talk about the things I talk about because that's what I like to do. Whether you see me doing meal prep, you might see me talking about my family. You like my earring? They green. I have to coordinate with the colors of with everything. People do that every day. Yeah. I don't have time. You're right, that's children's stuff, but that kind of stuff will mess with your mental health. That's all I'm telling you. It will mess with your mental health because we all grown out here. We have some youngsters being in chat, but we all grown. But I just try to just do what I gotta do, deal with who deal with me. It's just as simple as that. So right here, they're saying about how mental illness it affect your mood, your behavior. It causes stress. It messes with your daily function. You be so distressed sometimes you can't even get out the bed because you dealing with depression. You worry about what things going on. And we have to just let go and let God, y'all. We can easily say this, but take care of yourself. I know things are the way they are. I appreciate you too, Candy. You always be sending me stuff. I appreciate you. When you go on your little trips and stuff like that, you send stuff to my email. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of y'all. The ones that the ones that I met this year, Sassy. I think I met Sassy a couple years ago. Frank, all them. Frank and Miss Key, I'm seeing, and Fugal Mama, they and some of the Dream Team ladies would come over here. They've been on me since day one. And I think I've been on social media about 4 or 5 years. And sometimes we lose people along the way, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. And that's what I'm going to do. And that's what I always tell people. Continue to take care of you. Continue to take care of you. So they said the core components of mental illness affect key function, impacts cognitive process, emotional regulation, and behavior. You know, that's why a lot of people be saying, like, when these people be shooting up the schools and doing all this, they say they have mental illness. So why do you sell somebody a gun if you know they got mental illness? If you know a person dealing with mental illness, they don't need to have no gun. They really don't. If you know somebody that's going through something and then got some issues, check people back. They need to check these people backgrounds. You got to check their backgrounds. If you see where that you know they dealing with some type of mental illness, don't sell them no gun. Don't deal with them because they need help. But some people don't want to get help. I appreciate you too. Some people don't want to get help. They rather go around here messing with people, you know? They rather mess with people and feel like that's what they get a thrill off of. Leave people alone. Just leave people alone. They said causes impairment often interfere with work, school, social activities, or family life. When you have a mental illness, if you're not taking care of yourself, yes, it can have you just not want to just do nothing. But you gotta want to take care of you. Varied severity ranges from mild to severe with serious mental illness indicating significant impairment in major life activities. Medical conditions similar to a heart disease or diabetes that are recognized. Diagnosable medical conditions rather than personal weakness. Like I said, these are just disorders. They're not illnesses unless you don't take care of yourself. You know, when I first had my panic attack that day, it's just like I just turned to like I couldn't really describe it. You know, I'm like, why is I'm going through this? Because I was traumatized. If you get traumatized or overwhelmed, I get scared when I see a snake. I can't stand crawling stuff. It do something to me. I can't stand nothing crawling, like no snake, anything like that. I saw a snake one day. I went into a panic attack when I saw a snake, y'all, because it scared me. It scared me. It really did. I thought it was gonna get me. And that's how mine come up when I get overwhelmed and stuff. And when we was running that day in that mall, we were running that day. The boy was shooting at it. He shot and killed 2 people, I think. It was 2 people that day he killed. And then I couldn't find my daughter, y'all. Y'all know how close me and my daughter, right? Because she always taking me somewhere. And I appreciate her helping me through things that I be going through. She always think about my mental health. Because she like, Mama needs to get out of the house. She needs to get her mind off, you know, stuff like that. We real close. And it was me, her, and the one that graduated. There was little babies then. My grandkid was little then. I think my grandson, he was the littlest at the time. And we was at the food court eating. And my daughter was in Forever 21. I never forget. And that's where the shooting had started on that end. And I'm like, Lord, I saw people just running, holding on to their children. And I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? And they said, somebody's shooting. Lord. And my granddaughter, she had tuck off way before I did. Then my daughter, she wasn't with me. Lord, I was just screaming and hollering because I couldn't catch my granddaughter. But I had my grandson. Didn't know what my daughter was. And I was like, Lord, have mercy. She died with them folks shoot. Lord, I had got so, that was my first time having a panic attack. I remember we ran that day. When I had my good legs and good hip, everything. I was in pretty good shape out there. But anyway, we was running. People just running and bumping into people, running, children, hollering, screaming. So we had to run into one of those stores and they shot us down in the store, pulled it. You know how they them stores in the mall when they have to pull the thing down. I was just crying. I was telling people, I said, I ain't seen my daughter. I was able to catch up with my little granddaughter. So we got together. So they ended up putting us in a store. And I kept telling people, I said, I don't know my daughter at y'all. She died over them folks' shoe. A bullet doesn't have a name. Anybody can get a bullet, especially if you're in an area where people cutting the food like that. And I'm like, Lord have mercy, where my daughter at, y'all? Where my daughter at? And I kept telling the folks, they were trying to keep me calm. And I mean, it was a while before my daughter did come. And next thing I remember, I was on the floor, passed out. Folks were trying to bring me back through. And I finally seen my daughter. I was, Jesus. That was rough, y'all. Have anybody ever been in a situation where they been so scared they think they were gonna get killed? That's how it was for us. The fool shoot somebody in the mall. And every time I go out there, now it just bring back. I get traumatized every time I go. But they're like, Mama, that happened so many years ago. But every time I go out there, I think about it. I'm like, y'all remember we were running that day? I mean, we were running. Whew. Then I wasn't the only one out there panicking. It was another lady out there. They had the Amazon out there. After everybody, they got it, the man. They were bringing medics in there, checking on the people that was passing out. Hey, Louis, how you doing? And that was something else that day, y'all. That was something else. You been doing okay? Got my lemon water. Thank you. How you been doing today? I've been doing okay. I already said you didn't see me much last week. I had to I had to take some days off last week. Pain was in my legs, and I was emotionally, because I knew Mother Day was coming up, and I had to try to get myself right. But this week I've been doing pretty good. I started by doing some cardios, and I felt like coming on talk about mental health and mental illness. And there's a lot of that going on in the world, y'all. But if you're dealing with something, don't be ashamed. Just get the help you need. So some of the common types of disorders are anxiety disorder. Like I said, that's what I deal with, but it's controllable as long as I'm taking my medicine and doing things that keep me from having them. So anxiety disorder include generalized anxiety, panic disorders, and phobias. Mood disorders such as depression and bipolar disorder. Thank you. I had to have a little break last week on my knees, which is still hurting now. It's hurting on that bone, so I had to get some x-rays last week. So these are some disorders right here. Mood disorders such as depression, bipolar, psychotic disorders such as schizophrenia, eating disorder, and personality disorder, and post-traumatic stress disorder. It's called PTSD. These are disorders that people deal with every day. And long as I stay calm and don't stress too much or get overwhelmed, my anxiety be okay. But as soon as I get so overwhelmed and start getting emotional and stuff like that, my anxiety start getting the best of me. When I lost my mom, I really went through it. I had to practice breathing. I had to end up getting a heart test because my doctor was scared I had damage some up in my tissues, but which was found that I had like an enlarged heart. That's why I've been focusing more on heart health and joint health lately. I just gave you a like on this end. Oh, you must have been on I forgot that other channel, right? I forgot the other channel running over there. Hey, I don't even go over there and see what be going on over there. I'm just trying to get that channel built up, but Like I said, anytime that you're going through any type of where you need help, don't feel alone, because there's a lot of people out in the world dealing with mental health, mental illness. So it ain't nothing that you should feel shame about. Just get the help you need. Like when I was when I was having those panic attacks, real heavy, I had to end up talking to therapists. I had to end up, they put me on that when they first started giving me my medicine. And I'm not ashamed to tell people. I had to go talk to therapists about things, because the way I was feeling, I was going through depression and stuff like that. But I thank God I have came a long way. I have came a long way, and I can talk about it. I can share about it because I know what I've been through. And that's what my channel is about, talking about myself, my wellness, and what I'm trying to do to get myself and keep myself on track. And if it can help someone else, I don't mind sharing. But I always tell you, make sure you consult your physician. Make sure you talk it over with them. Make sure everything is good with that. I never try to suggest or diagnose anyone. Much as I said the doctor, but this is just wellness. This is just awareness. And I'm I done came a long way, Sass. I try not to let stuff worry me. Only way I got like that because when I lost my mom, but other than that, I don't really deal with a whole lot of people. If you don't see me with my family, you don't see me with nobody. And I got a couple of friends I might hang around, but other than that, I don't. Before I got to having health issues, yes, I used to be out there. I used to party. I used to go out and all that stuff. But I don't do none of that stuff now. I mean, I'd rather have like house parties or go on vacations and be with my family and stuff like that. Before just being out and just I'm too old to be doing all that stuff, because that's how stuff mess keep going. That's how drama start. Cause that's how people be. Just I forgot it was running. I forgot it was running over there. I forgot I'm running both channels. I don't even go there. Look, if any troll be over there, they should be having them a good time. Cause I think you're a moderator over there, but I'll be over here talking. I put up a thing saying please be respectful over there. But that's basically what I want to talk about today. Every morning I get my virtual assistant give me a mile per minute. That's good. That is so good. And sometimes you need to just take time to breathe. Just take time to breathe. Breathe in and breathe out. I wake up every morning. I say, Lord, I do thank you. Thank you for your overnight protection. Thank you for watching me and my family. And I come on YouTube. I see some of y'all. I said, I see Frank. I see Sassy, Lewis. Whenever I'm getting notification, I see some of y'all. I said, well, they okay. They doing all right today. Miss Key. Shout out to my members and everybody that's part of my YouTube family. But that's what I want to share with y'all today. Like I said, today is Mental Health Awareness Month. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And I was just sharing the difference between mental health and mental illness, And this is also Women Wellness Month. So tomorrow I'll probably share some stuff about it, basically be about the same stuff. That just gave me an idea. I will show you tomorrow what it sounds like. It just helped concentrate and breathing. Okay. So do you deal with any type of disorder? Do you deal with any type of, like I said, I deal with anxiety and panic attacks, but I thank God I'm not where I used to be. I remember one time me and my daughter got caught up in a road in the storm one day, and tree was falling out in front of the cars, behind the cars. Of course, I got scared. when I get scared and overwhelmed, it messes with I start breathing funny. My daughter, Mom, I know good time well. You ain't been having no panic attack. We out here stuck in the road. Sometimes I know when I'm get overwhelmed, I try to control myself. But yeah, everything is a process. That's why I try to get my rest. I've been trying to stick to things like the foods and different things that I need to be focused on, but it's a process, y'all. Everything is a process. My mindful minute starts at 8 a.m. when I wake up. It just gives me a boost of energy. Okay. Soothes my mind before I start the day. So I started doing my cardios and they helped me with my mindfulness. It helped me. It's just like it's therapy and it helps me. I just gonna do what I do. If I don't be in pain, I do them. But lately, it been helping me out pretty good. And it's good to practice mindfulness. Read affirmation, listen to some soft music, or listen to some inspiration quotes. Sometimes they have these podcasts where you can listen to something to help with your mind. Cause it's a lot going on out here in the world now. It's a lot going on. Gas almost $5, Trump. That gas almost $5, and in some places it is $5. I'm like, Lord, they was just talking about some people probably ain't gonna be able to travel like they want to this summer because of the gas prices. And we was trying to get our oil change the other day in the car. They didn't went up like almost $30. Hey, Ruth, how you doing? Good to see you. Just talking about mindfulness and mental health, and you know what I do over here at things like that, mental health and mental illness. And I was just telling people, it's good to protect your mental health. Sometimes you just got to just let things go. Because I know when I get too overwhelmed, yeah, walking is good for mental health too. They help your mental space. You been doing okay? But Ruth, you been doing good? Good to see you. And I was just speaking on things that we can do to help our mental health. That can like I be doing my cardio. They help me with. It's just like it's kind of like therapy, and like Sassy said when she out there walking. And then my girl Ruth, she be doing stuff. I saw her video the other day, like she just having some time for herself. Sometimes when you just have to have that peace of mind just to get some quietness. You been doing stuff all week. You been cook for the kids or did everything at home. And sometimes you just need to just get away for a little time just to have that peace for you. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Get your mindful minutes. Get your time in. That's important to us. That is very important to us. Get our rest, have those mindful moments, deal with what you can deal with because did a lot. And sometimes you just got to take that time for you. But I appreciate my members for coming through. Ruthie, she had been with me for a long time. Ruthie, Miss Key, Frank, y'all been with me for a long time. We also had Sassy. She been with me for a while. First Lady, she's also one of my members. I appreciate all of them. Well, that's basically what I want to share today. But anytime that you're going through anything, just make sure you consult your professional care and let them know some of the things that you're dealing with, And I know I had to let go of a lot of stuff. A lot of people I had to, step away from. A lot of places that I don't go where I used to go. And I had to accept some things when it comes down to my mobility, some of the things that I'm not able to do, or some of the things that I'm a little slower at. But I thank God for my life. I do thank God for my life though. So I just want to share about the difference between mental health and mental illness. And don't let another person try to label you if you are dealing with mental illness. Instead of putting someone down, help them. Give them the help if they will help you. Some people be needing help, but they have so much pride and ego, and they worry about what the next person gonna think of them. But you can't do that. You got to make sure you good. We can't worry about what the other person gonna think, because they gonna be who they are. You got to be who you are. You got to be the one that want to take care of you. There's some things I struggle with, like my weight. I'm still struggling with that. But I know it's a process. It's a process. But my main focus right now is my health. It's my health. Trying to get on the path I need to be on. I just stick with what I need to eat with. It be hard. But I said, Lord, I know I need to eat more fiber. I need to eat more fiber. I need to let go of all the stuff that give me inflammation. And it's a process, y'all. It is a process. But like I said, God ain't gonna put no more on me than I can bear. It also helps you with anxiety. If you don't have anxiety, it just helps you get through the day. Yeah, I take medication for it. I do take medication for my anxiety. Ruthie, how you been doing? How's the family? Did you have a good Mother's Day? I see she had came through. She be working, but she still take the time out to come in and let me know that she's still here with me. And I see her be doing her little walk-ins in the Dollar Trees, and she good at going up finding good stuff. So y'all make sure y'all check her out over there. But yeah, that's one thing I'm gonna do, Sassy, is try to take care of myself. We gotta take care of ourselves. We don't. Ain't nobody gonna do it for us. Ain't nobody gonna take care of us. We gotta want to take care of ourselves. Yep. So I just want to share that. Y'all know I try to bring some type of awareness to different topics, and I know mental health is a topic. Mental illness is a topic that need to be talked about. Cause it does matter. Your health does matter. But you gotta want to be the one to say, I need to get myself together. I gotta take care of me. If you're going through any type of thing like bipolar or schizophrenic, PSTD, a lot of people take medication for that. A lot of people do take medication for it. And like I said, it's treatable. Some things are treatable. Certain things you have to just cut out and change in order to get what you need to get. And if that's what they have to take, you do that. Do the things that go benefit you. When I first, a couple years ago, like what I'm doing now, I couldn't even do the cardios and try to do high knees and stuff, because I used to be in so much pain. But now I'm going to a pain management where I take medication every day. Whenever I go to pain management like once a month now, and I get my supply of medication. I get my treatments, and my pain is manageable. But then when it gets so severe, whatever, I have to just rest, take care of myself, and just bounce back from that. And that's what I do. Last week, I just when I be in pain and don't feel well, I can't think right. I have to okay, I probably on social YouTube sometime. I always just say I'll be back, like that. But yeah. So this week I've been doing pretty good. just trying to maintain. Just trying to maintain. Mother's Day was rough, but I know I already knew that was going to be a hard day for me, but I managed. I managed. But I'm about to get ready to get on off of here. It was good to see everyone, and I'll probably back tomorrow. More talking and cardio, and it's just like everything is a routine for me now. Everything seems to be like a routine. So I want to thank everybody that did come through. I don't know if anybody that was in the chat is live right now. If they is, y'all make sure y'all check them out. Like tomorrow is Thursday. I call tomorrow Thriving Thursday, or You Thoughtful Thursday. Thankful Thursday. So I'll probably come live, do a few cardios, and talk about Women Wellness Month. That's what this month is, also Women Wellness Awareness Month. So I'll probably share some more things about that. But like I said, I do have to put the disclaimer out. I'm a lifestyle vlogger where I do share things, but I'm not here to diagnose or suggest. Make sure you consult your physician, your medical providers, let them know if you're going through any of these things that I have shared today. YouTube is still acting crazy. My YouTube channel just asked me if I want to subscribe to my what? Lord, do what, Lewis? They asked you that you want to subscribe to your own channel? Where that come from? I know, I guess StreamYard was tripping last week. I've been live. I came live yesterday. And I think I came live Monday. I'm not sure. But I've been live. This is my second day live, yeah. And I ain't blanked. I ain't went out the chat not once. Off my channel not once. It was kicking me off last week, but I said, if it kept doing it, I was going to switch over to Restream. I'm trying to see, have I never been live on Restream. Yeah, I used to do like the little vibes lives, but I never did. I think I did a talking live, but I ain't never been like showing myself. But it seemed to have been working pretty good. I ain't did no YouTube live this week. I might do one in the morning. But anyway, that basically what I was talking about, mental health. Hey, Janine, how you doing? Good to see you. Girl, you know I've been going through it over here. I've been going through it, but I thank God for his grace and mercy. I don't think I've seen you in a while. Did you know I had lost my mom? Did you know I had lost my mom? Well, have me and you talked since then? I lost my mom the week before Christmas, and it's been rough. I know you lost your dad about a year ago? Yeah, I lost my mom, and girl, my mental health been off. It been way off. And Mother's Day was so bad. I was able to, it was rough. I was able to get me a necklace with her picture on it. I said she'll always be with me. Yeah. How you been doing? You been doing okay? I haven't missed, I've been off and on. Last week I was dealing with pain in my legs, and I've been doing my little cardio. I know you probably been seeing me trying to focus on my health, but mentally I've been. That's why I was saying about my anxiety. I have anxiety disorder. It ain't no joke. But I'm more calmer now, and but it's a process. I mean, my mom real close, and I finally, I had my mom Christmas present, right? Because I had wrapped my mom a Christmas present, but I didn't get a chance to give my mom a Christmas present. And I finally moved the Christmas present the other day. Because everybody was saying, what you going to do with the Christmas present? I haven't opened them yet. I just put them up because those are some of the things. I don't want to start crying. But those are some of the things she did like. And for some reason, I didn't get a chance to give her a present. Because she died the week before Christmas, right? And I supposed to been taking the presents over there that weekend, but she didn't make it. And yeah. So what they did when I had the funeral, they just had her presents sitting up there by her casket. And I brought them back home. I look at them, I was like, those are her things. And my husband goes saying, what you gonna do with them? What you gonna do with them? And I just put them back in the room. I said, maybe Christmas I might open them, or I might just let them sit there. I don't know. I just been all over the place, but I'm getting there. That's why I said some of the things I do now, like the cardios, the stuff I share, it's kind of like therapy for me. It's kind of like therapy for me. And yeah. But see, tomorrow I'll probably back sharing some more wellness. And Friday, I said I was gonna do but I did see some of when I turned on one day, you was talking about the Michael Jackson music. The Michael Jackson movie, I mean. I want to talk about it. I said Friday I might talk about it. Yeah. Because I know you had to go and move your dad's stuff, didn't you? So how you been doing, Janine? How you been doing? Because I remember when you had lost your dad. It messed with your mental health. I know when you lose a loved one, it triggers your mental health. It really does. Yeah, she lost her dad. Was it last year? Year before? Yeah. I just y'all to continue to keep me in prayer. But I try to use my channel and other things. I'm good. We purchased a house. Ooh, that's all right, girl. I see you been traveling. I had been seeing you off and on, like you was going out of town. You was showing different little areas where you was, and that's good. No, Lord, it is not hard to unblock people on YouTube and mud long time on YouTube on different channels. What happened? What happened? What y'all talking about? It's hard. It is not hard to unblock people on YouTube. Yeah, you have to go to your block list. I still got some people in there. I'm not finna unblock them. Mm-mm. There was some people coming in my chat saying some crazy stuff. They still block. But some people they'll come up on another name. Once you block them on one channel, they come up on another account. That's what they do. I know it's not hard to unblock people, but yesterday, YouTube. Okay, you unpacking? Okay then, girl. All right. So what did you move in another area? Did you move into another area? Or are you still in the same area? He's saying YouTube blocked him. He said YouTube was asking him something. Okay. Oh, he was talking about Mars. I've been here for a long time. I'm real. Yeah, you here, Frank. You OG. You been riding the block. He said yesterday I was on another live stream and I was trying to get in trouble. I was trying to get in trouble and hit the wrong person. Oh, and I blocked a person by accident and I tried to unblock him. It would not unblock. You got to go to your block list. Go to Google and type in block list or whatever. Oh yeah, you've been on a long time. You go to Google and type in your block list, and you'll be able to see the people you got blocked. I ain't been unleashed none of them devils on my channel. They gonna stay blocked. We moved from Austin, Texas to a house near Arlington, Texas, where the Dallas Cowboys stay. Okay, that's all right. You'll be able to catch some of them games, won't you? No, my husband's a Dallas Cowboy fan, child. Ooh. Yeah, I got a lot of people blocked. Mm-hmm. Especially when they came in talking all that yang. Uh-uh. But anyway, anybody else live? I'm about to get on off of here. Yeah, it was someone else YouTube. But go to your Google. Let me see. If you go to Google, right? Let me see if it still work like that. Because sometimes people will block you by mistake. Like you say, you be trying to get the other person. You be trying to get somebody else, right? And you end up getting the wrong person. Let me see. Because I had to do that. And then somebody had did me like that. They said they was trying to block somebody else and they ended up blocking me. Because, you know, especially when those comments be going fast in the chat. And people be saying stuff. I would hear when YouTube played music, it was cussing. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Everything to change now. But congratulations to you, Janine, for buying your house. I bet it nice. Yeah, I bet it nice. Let me see. Google. What? Unblock this. Unblock. I think that's how I went to I went and asked for my unblock list. Unblock list on type in a block list, go to Google, type in unblock list on YouTube. Let me see. There's how do I unblock a YouTube channel recommendation? Okay. Some kind of way. Okay. If you go type in copyright mean nothing back in the day, woo, it mean it now. I get sometimes I could be put out a video. I get an email so quick and I have to go and change the music out. I'm like, Lord. And some people will give you a copyright. CDJ gave me one. I'm trying to see could I get the people, but it was some people coming in my chat. I didn't know who they was, and they were saying some crazy stuff. And I'm not been unblock them. They said, let me see. So did you go to their name and unblock? You couldn't do it that way, Lewis? How do I find my block list? If you go to your YouTube studio, Lewis, you go to your YouTube studio, right? And when you go to your YouTube studio, you'll see where they'll have people that you done block. Some people be named in there. I got some people and I'm like, I don't even know who they is, but y'all gonna stay blocked. But as soon as you unleash them, they coming out. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with y'all about mental health and mental illness. What was the difference? And like I said, if you dealing with any type of disorder or anything like that, some things can be treatable, but you gotta want to get treated. You gotta want to take care of stuff. Like I said, I have anxiety disorder, and I know when I get overwhelmed and I know what causes me to have panic attacks, I try to stay away from it. All right, good seeing you. I gotta come over there and check out that new house, girl. I gotta come over there and check out that new house. I know you ready to cook in that kitchen, ain't you? I'm finna get on off here. I've been on here 2 hours, Jesus. That back cramping up now. Yeah, it's good to see you, but yeah, I've been having it, going through it, but I thank God for his grace and mercy, you know. Yeah, I just think about the good days and the good memories, and but it's hard. Woo. Lord Jesus, is hard. But I thank God for His grace and mercy for keeping my mental health straight, because it had been through the roof, and my health had started by going through some health issues. That's why I'm trying to get back. Been trying to get back on track with that, but yeah, everything is a process. But I'm gonna continue to keep God first. I want to thank everybody that did come through today. Y'all continue to have a blessed night. I'll probably be back on tomorrow. Y'all know when I get to feeling good, I be on the road. But thank everybody for coming through. I do appreciate each and every one of y'all. And just remember, your mental health does matter. Your mental health matters. On that note, I'll see y'all on the next go round. Bye bye, and thanks for joining. Yeah, you be blessed too. Everyone be blessed.